Hey guys, welcome back to Starcast Remarks alongside Chris. To my right, my name is Ryan Chambers. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of THPN. We thank our sponsor, as always, DraftKings Sportsbook, their fancy little pick six option. That promo code is THPN there. If you go and use their services, you get a little bit of a little goodie from them, from us as a member of THPN. So we'd appreciate if you would go and do that. And before we get this episode started, we would also appreciate it if you guys would click like and subscribe if you're watching live on YouTube. We're currently at, I believe, 623, Chris, or something like that. We're trying to hit 1,000. So if you would kindly do so, that subscribe button is down below, and go ahead and click like while you're there as well. The Stars get the loss here tonight to the Utah Hockey Club. It's their first loss in the history of the Utah Hockey Club to
the
them,
long,
I guess
illustrious history.
Yeah, right. So, anyways, they do lose by a final score of 5-3. The story of the game was penalty to kill. And if anybody ever doubted how important Esa Lindell is to this team, you can point to this one game and show exactly why he is as important as he is.
Yeah, and that's the actual important story. Esa Lindell and Harley are both held out of the lineup for maintenance reasons, which now that there's nothing to play for, I think is absolutely the correct thing to do. And because of that, the Stars get scored on 4 times on 4 chances on the penalty kill. So yeah, the guy who has the most penalty kill time on ice in the entire National Hockey League, kind of an important guy.
Do you agree with the decision by Pete DeBoer to sit both of those guys and Jake Oettinger tonight?
Yes, if you were going to sit both of those defenders, you absolutely should not play Jake Oettinger. So that was the correct thing to do. I liked that. And now, I know fans won't like to hear this, but there's nothing left to play for. You have entered the second preseason. Welcome.
That's go ahead. You still have stuff to say. Go ahead.
Right. So if you are a casual fan and if losing hockey games is going to annoy you, I recommend not watching the next 2 games. And I'm 100% serious. You can skip sarcastic remarks even, because the next 2 games are not going to be uber competitive hockey. So just be warned.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way that you look at this game, honestly. I mean, and I still hate that they lost the game, okay? I mean, anybody will still hate that they lost the hockey game. But the more important thing that I was more worried about is how they were playing. And I still was not impressed with how they played overall in this game. And I mean, there's pundits on both sides who will say, there's still 4 guys in the lineup right now and I'm specifically talking about the defensive core, that are going to be on the starting lineup for game 1 against Colorado, which we'll talk about that here in a second as well. And those 4 guys still didn't look all that fantastic. I mean, honestly, and I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm going to probably say this for the first time ever, I honestly thought Matt Dumba was the best defenseman for the Dallas Stars tonight.
Probably. I mean, he got put into an elevated role, and he's the one of those guys that has been in that role most successfully in his career. So yeah, I think you're right. Unfortunately, he was probably the Stars' best defenseman tonight, which is really weird.
I mean, just in terms of trying to create chances, and he was mostly in the right spot at the right time. And, even on the power.
And he still did some Dumba things. I mean, he still looked like Matt Dumba out there, but I mean, he was better overall.
And then the other thing I wanted to kind of lean into a little bit was on the defensive side, Chris, was Lian Bichsel. I'll let you have the floor first, because you've seen him more of how he's played. What did you think of him tonight? I think he is extremely key.
It looks like he's shook right now. It really does. I think the last game scared him a little bit, honestly, and it looked like he was that way tonight. I hope he figures it out. Maybe he needs one of those rest days too. I mean, you look at an NHL schedule versus an AHL schedule. I recommend you do it, actually, because it's really completely different.
It's very different.
AHL, you're generally playing on weekends. Sometimes you'll have a middle of the week kind of series, but playing every other day constantly is not what happens in the AHL. You consistently have long-term breaks and extended days for practice and development. And when you do play, it happens real fast. The Stars are playing 3 games in 3 nights this weekend. So it's totally a different kind of schedule. So that might be part of the problem. I wouldn't hate if he got a maintenance day over the next couple of games as well. And I agree. I think he has the potential to be something that the Stars don't have, which is some muscle, some meat, and he'll be able to push back whenever teams are leaning on us physically. So I hope he can figure it out. If not, Dumba is going to be a really solid replacement for him on that 6 role spot too, though. So I'm not too super worried about it.
Yeah. So let's talk about. Well, we need to not talk about that yet. Let's talk about some other things first.
Let's hit the super chat first. So Nate G said Joel Quenneville. Thank you, Nate G, for the $2. You're great. And man, that is that's stirring something up there, Nate G.
I just don't know about Joel Quenneville, man.
I mean, you look at record boards, he's undeniable. One of the most winningest coaches in the NHL.
Okay, but you and I both know, and the hockey diehards also know exactly why I wouldn't want a guy like that in this organization.
I think Nate G does too, but
yes. And 3 cups, second most wins all time. Great take, fella. Let's just say this, and this will be kind of my out skis of going down that rabbit hole. One of Jim Nill's biggest thing is character, and will this guy fit in the organization? He might be a good guy overall, but I don't think his character is impeccable.
Yeah, I think there's without a doubt some character flaw at the very least with Joel Quenneville. Yes. And also, Pete DeBoer's job is not on the hot seat until he fails in playoffs. I mean, if something drastic happens and they're playing this way in the round 1 and they get bumped in 5 games, you might have that conversation. Even then, I think you get a little bit of help when you've been to the conference finals 2 years in a row.
Okay, let's talk about Harrison's comment over here, because this is kind of where I wanted to go a little bit too. Expect other guys to get maintenance games. I wouldn't be shocked if forwards like Duchesne and Robertson got a game off as well. What do you think about that, Chris?
100%, especially the older guys. Duchesne is definitely one of the guys who should be up there. Possibly Dodonov might be able to get a maintenance game here over the next couple. Honestly, though, you really want to focus on the defensemen. Your forward lines roll pretty well. That's pretty consistent. But if Lindell and Harley aren't going to be shocked by not playing games, I'd rest them next game, or maybe the final game. Like, whatever you do, to me, it's based off what Otter wants. If Otter wants to play the next 2 games to go into the playoffs, then you can play Harley, Lindell, however. But if he wants to take the last game off, then I say have Harley and Lindell take the last game off as well, So don't put Otter out there when he's going to get shelled the way DeSmith was tonight. But other than that, rest whoever you need to. Nothing's going to change here. The Stars are already on a bad ending to the regular season. Winning the next 2 games isn't going to change that. So, getting the maintenance in. Get people rested.
And honestly, I thought Casey DeSmith played really good tonight. That's the sad thing. He let in 5 goals, and I thought, and the other thing about it though is that a lot of people, he's been playing so well lately that a lot of people forget that he's actually truly a backup goalie, and he's better than a lot of starting netminders in the NHL right now. So
stats wise, that's 100% true. I think you see a little bit more of the backup here tonight, since the defense isn't as good. There's not very much clearing of the rebounds. And there was a lot of really good rebounds tonight that came off of Casey DeSmith. So that's where you really see the backup power there. But, I mean, this is Casey's job. He knows what he was in there tonight to do, and it was to protect Jake Oettinger's confidence, and he did his job. So thank you, Casey.
Do you think he plays the last 2 games of the regular season?
He might. If Otter is I don't need another game, I'm ready to go, long break is going to be fine, absolutely. You just leave him off. But it's, to me, I would say it's up to Otter. You ask him what he wants to do. Tell him these games aren't going to matter. We're going to be resting people. We're probably not going to win. What do you want to do?
I think Bichsel needs to play. I think Dumba needs to play. Smith needs to play as well. And I like
Yeah,
to
Smith,
see
absolutely.
Petrovic.
Smith should be in every single one of these last games. I agree.
And the other one that was really interesting that I wanted to see from is obviously the Stars call up Petrovic today. What did you see from Petro? Is he literally just as a fill-in? Obviously, that's part of the question. But the other thing is this might be an audition for a possible game in the playoffs.
Yes, he's in as a fill-in. When Heiskanen comes back, he's going to be the third defenseman not skating in a backup role. And honestly, he's had a kind of a rough season in Texas. Like, anytime the puck is on his stick, it has been a struggle for the guy. So I would not expect to see Petro slot in, even in the minor role he was in last season. I don't think that's going to even happen this year. I'd rather see Capobianco, honestly.
Oh wow, that's saying something because you've been on Capobianco too. So
well, he played a terrible one game in Dallas, but he has been the Texas Stars' best defenseman this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than
yes. So I kind of want to see some rest for guys like Lyubushkin too, to be completely honest with you, because with Lyubushkin, I mean, he's in your top four. Let's call it as it is. He's in your top four, and there has been points this season where he's obviously been fighting something, and in terms of an injury, I should say, not that his play, but in terms of an injury. Generally, for what he gets paid for, he's been a very good, serviceable defenseman for the Stars, maybe playing in a more elevated role than he probably should. But do you see him get rested for the next couple of games?
Maybe. Unfortunately, you don't have enough defensemen, and he's not high on my priority list of someone who needs rest. So I would just say you keep on resting Harley and Lindell, whatever they need.
I think you put Lindell in and you take Lyubushkin out a little bit too, and then it is a revolving door for the next two games. Is what I would do, honestly. That's my personal opinion. But I guess the thing we really should do, Chris, is we need to talk about the elephant in the room. It has been officially confirmed by the NHL, with the Winnipeg getting at least a point against Chicago today. They have clinched the President's Trophy, the Central Division, and have also made Dallas and Colorado an official thing. We always knew it was going to be Colorado and Dallas. We've known for probably about a month now, maybe closer to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But what's your initial gut reaction hearing that?
I mean, we knew it was going to happen. Once Winnipeg jumped to that big start and then they held on to it for longer than we thought, we figured it was going to be Colorado, even when Minnesota was in that spot. So it's destined to happen. The Mikko Rantanen storyline is going to be awesome. The now Landeskog storyline is going to be awesome. The Seguin and Miro storyline coming back is going to be awesome. It's going to be the best round one series in the NHL. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Okay, and I'm going to bring up one little thing that you talked about because I just want to say I told you so. I told you so, okay? And I probably should have gone back and like clipped this and like showed it on the episode right now, but I was too lazy to do it and I just didn't care that much. But for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I called Landeskog coming back for the playoffs like over a month ago. Like when he was practicing and he just happened to be on the first power play unit in practice. And I said, don't give me a break. You don't put a guy on a top power play unit like that if he's not going to play at some point.
Ryan was right.
I was right. Landeskog got sent to the Colorado Eagles, who are the AHL affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche. He played his first professional game in almost 3 years. And if he is coming back for the playoffs like we expect him to, that just makes the center depth for the Colorado Avalanche just ridiculous. And before you go off, I do want to say, as a hockey fan, I am extremely happy that he is able to come back and play. And specifically, Stars fans will talk about Ben Bishop, for example. Yep. He had that one game where he went down to AHL. He started and I think it was like 6 goals against and he knew he was done after that one game. And I'm hoping that's not the case for Gabriel Landeskog. I never want that for anybody. But as a Stars fan, that's just another nail against us that makes me even more worried about our ability to finish Colorado in a series.
And he did play a full 15 minutes. After the game, he said he was really tired. And also, he didn't look like Gabriel Landeskog. I'm gonna say it. He didn't look like Gabriel Landeskog in the AHL game, which obviously makes sense. He hasn't played hockey in 3 years, so I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, yes, Avs fans should be hyped, but I would not expect, like, yes, Gabriel Landeskog is going to be on their lineup, even if he can only kind of skate. I feel like that's just such a big emotion boost to them, but they're not actually going to have Gabriel Landeskog, in my opinion. Like, that's going to be another hot take that I might regret later, but I just can't imagine how he can look that way in the AHL game, which wasn't bad. He looked like he belonged there, but that's the problem. He looked like he belonged in the AHL. When you see an NHL player in an AHL game, it's quite obvious. Lian Bichsel stood out like a sore thumb in Texas Stars games. So I don't expect him to be the offensive powerhouse that he was, but he can totally be a fourth line guy probably for them. And he's definitely going to be a fantastic leader. No doubt about that.
Here's Nate's comments again. He just spitting facts here tonight. Not to mention the energy and spirit Landeskog will breathe into the Avs locker room.
That's the most important.
That is the most important thing, and that is why he is coming back. And it makes me think exactly, unfortunately, of the 2020 bubble playoffs when the Stars were against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Steven Stamkos was injured beyond all reason, barely could skate. He scores a goal.
He still scored.
And he played 5 minutes, 4 or 5. He was basically a passenger pigeon on the bench for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, I mean, you can't say that wasn't a huge boost for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just him being there and then him scoring a goal on top of that.
Agreed.
That's a huge emotional boost to that Colorado Avalanche team against the Stars team who right now the emotional aptitude is just not there right now.
I like that playoffs are just hijacking this post-game review, but we're going to keep rolling with it. So, yes, Colorado is getting him back, but the Stars are also getting arguably their best player back in Miro Heiskanen, most likely at some point. I know they keep swinging back and forth with what they say about Miro Heiskanen, but if the guy can skate, I find it hard to believe he's going to be off the ice. And we're almost certain they're going to have Tyler Seguin game 1 too. So those are a couple of big things that are going to be actual players that the Stars can rely on for points when that series starts too. And that's going to give the Stars a big boost. So maybe not as big as Landeskog coming back after 3 seasons, but it's going to be more productive than Landeskog after 3 seasons as well.
And we're not going to hijack the rest of this episode and have it be like a Colorado versus Dallas preview. We'll have
we'll save that till Wednesday.
Yeah. Or maybe Friday. I don't know. Maybe we can, I don't know. We'll talk about it later, Chris, but it doesn't matter. You're going to get a preview either way. And it's just, it's going to be a absolute nasty series between these two games. And I think it's probably going to be the most interesting matchup out of any of the first round matchups. I mean, it's got all the storylines built into it just right then and there. So, not to take a huge hard right turn, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I feel a little bit better about how terrible the Stars played tonight because of the situation in a lot of the other games here tonight, Chris. Okay, so get a load of this. Winnipeg won in a shootout against Chicago, excuse me. So it was 5-4. It was the best team in the NHL and basically the worst team. Toronto won 1-0 against Montreal. Buffalo and Florida 2-3. That's kind of normal. The LA Kings defeated the Colorado Avalanche 5-4. And here's a couple of bonkers games here, Chris. Okay, first off, Carolina won 7-3 against the Rangers. It just ended a 4-game skid themselves. That makes me feel a little bit better because Carolina is a very good team. Here's another one. Columbus destroys the Washington Capitals here tonight by a final score of 7-0.
Yeah,
that's a team that is probably was the best team for a good chunk of the season, and they just got blanked the way they did. So it doesn't make me feel amazing. I still hate that they lost, but I think there are a lot of teams right now in that boat, in that van, that are just like you said, Chris, second preseason.
Almost all the teams that are in playoff spots right now have really bad end of season records. I mean, the Avalanche and the Stars both have gone 5-5 in their last 10 games. I mean, that's wild, but it's because it's pretty much locked. So you're not gonna play Nathan MacKinnon, even if he's just has a little stub toe in a game that doesn't matter, because that's stupid. So yes, there's some weird things happening right now, but that's because you're in the second preseason. There's nothing left to play for.
Well, and the other interesting thing while I was thinking about that while you were talking, Chris, was I was just curious what the time on ice was for everybody.
Yep.
I've never seen it this even before.
It's like perfectly even.
I mean, like Mikael Granlund with 18-19 on ice tonight. That is a whole heck of a lot more than he normally gets.
That's not quite even. That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, Maverick Bork gets 15-20. I mean, even Colin Blackwell gets 11-42. That's a lot for the fourth line, and the fourth line looked good again here tonight, by the way. And then when you look at the time on ice, my whole spiel about Dumba being our best defenseman tonight, the time on ice kind of shows that at 2016.
Yeah. Now, well, and even our worst defenseman is still playing 17 minutes because we're rolling them. Yeah. Even these guys who are playing in the game, we're not relying on anybody because we don't need to. We don't need to win this game.
Yep. So, and I mean, like when you look at Dumba, he had 22 shifts, and the lowest amount of shifts was Petrovic at 20. So basically, everyone had the exact same amount of shifts, maybe 2 or 3 less, or 2 or 3 more, whatever. So, I mean, that is kind of the game here tonight. It's I hate a little bit that the playoffs are kind of already decided like this, but at the same time, it's good to know that so you can rest your key guys like the Stars did here tonight. The one other thing we haven't mentioned, Chris, is, and it does kind of affect the Stars a little bit moving forward for the next 2 games. They apparently have the flu going through the locker room right now, which is a very bad thing in terms of.
This is 4D chess. There's always Listen to me. This is 4D chess. Every time in the playoffs, your team gets sick at least once. And the Stars are like, nuh-uh, we're nipping that in the bud. They called around, found someone who had the flu. They're like, all right, come in here, give our guys the flu. We're going to get over it, be 100% immune going forward, and bam, Stars are not going to get the flu in the playoffs. 4D chess. This is why Pete DeBoer is the greatest coach in the NHL.
Oh, yeah, well.
I bet Nate loved that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he would. The only other question I had, Chris, and we can do biggest winner, biggest loser. Do you really think Pete DeBoer's job is up for, he's on the hot seat if he loses in the first round?
No, probably not really, because he only has 1 year left on his coaching contract, and he's been so good before. So I think if he loses the game, he will be on the hot seat for next season. So, like, say you get swept in round 1, you start the season next year really badly, that's where you might see a midseason coaching change, since they worked so well in the NHL for some reason. But it won't actually make him a potential firing for the offseason, but it'll warm his seat up a little bit for the start of the next season.
I 100% agree with you. But the other thing that Pete DeBoer doesn't have going against him is it's just the way the playoffs are structured, the way they do the divisional format absolutely has sucked for the Stars, because as good as a team as they've been for the last 3 years, the Central Division has been absolutely brutal. I mean, we used to call it the what was it, the kill something, the kill division. It was a while ago, but it is the best division and has consistently been for not every year, but I would say over the last 10 years, they have been consistently the best division in hockey.
Yeah, so, and a year when points overall are down, I mean, the Central has been fantastic, and they're putting 5 teams in the playoffs. That's insane.
And Utah wasn't. I mean, they played meaningful games in March. They did. They still had opportunities to get up there, and that's it. It was possible. It was possible for them to be that 8th playoff team instead of St. Louis. So yeah, or I guess the 8th playoff team is Minnesota right now, I guess. So
yeah, and you're right about the playoff format potentially helping him too, because if you say the Stars lost in the first round, oh boy, that sounds bad. If you say the Stars lost to the Colorado Avalanche in 7 games, that doesn't sound bad at all. So you're 100%. You do have to kind of keep in mind. Now, if they play like crap and they get swept off in 5 or 4, then that's a big difference. But just losing and being competitive, it's not. It is a first round exit, but it's not. If you know what I mean.
Yes. And you have to understand too, Stars are the 3rd best team in the NHL. The Colorado Avalanche, I think, are like 6th or 7th, which is just nuts. Absolutely nuts that you're having to face that team in the first round. But it makes for good TV, and that's exactly what the broadcast partners and Sportsnet, TNT, ESPN, all that stuff, that's what they want.
Right. So, you can complain about it, but it is working as intended.
Yes, it is. So Harrison, hold on to that comment for a couple of days here, okay? We are definitely going to be talking about that. But you gave a really quick comment here, Chris, because I was interested to hear you answer this. I'm really interested to see if the Blues upset one of the division winners. I could definitely see them being agents of chaos if they went over to play the Pacific Division. And absolutely, because they did it in 2019.
Right, and because Jordan Binnington himself is an agent of chaos, and when he's playing good, he's one of the best goalies in the world, and when he doesn't care, he's one of the worst in the NHL. Mm-hmm. So he is just a chaotic guy, and that's what makes him fun. But yeah, that's 100% true. The Blues could be crazy. We will just have to see.
Okay, enough rock jumping here, Chris. Sorry, we'll finish it up. Biggest winner, biggest loser. Who you got?
Biggest winner, Brendan Smith. Big old clappy clap. Attaboy.
That's funny you said that, because that was going to be mine too. It's nice to see him get a goal. It really is.
And I like the reaction from the bench too. That's great.
Yeah, that was legit. Yes, it was fantastic. So he is my biggest winner as well here tonight. I feel like there's an obvious one. Who's the biggest loser?
Jamie Benn. Oh my goodness. Cannot get 400 in. I mean, yes, that one at the end went in and then was called back, of course. I think the worst one is the one he got stoned on from right in front of the net. I mean, what a save. My goodness.
And he didn't even get all of it. He barely got enough of it. Well, and then even Robo's goal, he got his glove on that one too, and it just barely went into the net. So, I mean, Vejmelka was really good for the Utah HC tonight.
He is a legitimately good goalie. I think he's a big reason why they were so much improved this year was how good he played. I think he's underrated.
I mean, that's why teams like Ottawa are in the playoffs this year, is because Linus Ullmark has absolutely solidified the goaltending for that team.
Yep.
The biggest loser for me here tonight is just the power play, the penalty kill. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Power play was still at least got a goal here tonight. The penalty kill went over 4.
Right. And here's the good thing is that actually the Stars penalty kill wasn't here. So it doesn't even really matter. The Stars penalty kill is Jake Oettinger and Esa Lindell. So if they're not playing, our penalty kill wasn't there. We just gave them 4 goals anytime we took a penalty. That's what it was.
And Thomas Harley. Thomas Harley is a very good penalty killer as well too.
He hasn't been on the penalty kill very much because of how much he's playing on the power play.
Yep. And that will be something that Miro Heiskanen will absolutely solidify.
I think, yeah. If he's back in time, I think he's going to be on the PK, and it's going to be scary good. We're going to have 2 Esa Lindells out there.
Anything else? We're saving a lot for the next couple of days.
Yeah, we talked a lot about a game where the Stars didn't try to win. That's pretty solid from us.
Oh, really? Yeah. I was legitimately thinking, I was like, how are we going to fill like even 20 minutes trying to do this? Well, we didn't do that. We talked about something completely different.
We talked about other stuff.
Yes. A result from the game. So it is what it is. But again, Nate G, thank you for the $2 super chat. We really do appreciate
thank you,
that.
Nate.
And once again, everybody, thank y'all for following along live with us. There's even more who are listening afterwards. Please click like and subscribe once again if you're listening on YouTube, watching on YouTube, whatever. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Starcastic Remarks.
And make sure you check out the Wednesday episode, but you might skip the 2 post gamers. That would be fun.
Yeah. Skip. We're still going to do it. So
we're going to do it.
We're going to do it, but it might not actually be about the game.
But you might not want to.
Follow us on social media at StarcasticR is everywhere and anywhere, basically. If you're listening on the audio side, leave us a 5-star review. That's another way to kind of help us grow and continue doing what we do here at Starcastic Remarks. Alongside Chris, my name is Ryan. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hope you all have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are listening. We'll be back with you guys again when the Stars play their final 2 road games of the season on Tuesday and Thursday. Thank you guys so much for your support.